The truth behind the Bang M Smurf spray and Made You Think drama. This is a story of power moves, crossed wires and high-stakes disputes that sent shockwaves through the UK podcast scene. Was this a simple misunderstanding, or was there real hate, gatekeeping and backdoor deals at play? Today, we break down exactly what went down between Bang M Smurf, Spray and Made You Think, and trust me, this one gets messy. Now let's introduce the key players and their vital roles within this saga's playbook, where it seems every action triggers a reaction. Firstly, we have Spray, a controversial figure who thrives in the heat of battle. He's never backed down from a dispute and has built a reputation as a wild straight shooter. Then there is Made You Think, aka MIT, one of the biggest UK urban platforms, with a stronghold on the industry. The page is run by an individual named AP. And last but not least, Bang M Smurf, a former G-Unit member, once rolling with 50 Cent in his prime. Unlike the other two, Smurf isn't from London. He's an American street legend with a wild and dangerous past. Now, this is the spark that lit the fire. Smurf had already built a relationship with AP, who had previously interviewed him in the Caribbean. When Smurf hit AP up for advice on which UK podcasts to appear on, AP gave him a warning. Be strategic. Don't go on too many platforms, it'll dilute your story. There's a potential Netflix deal in the works. AP set up connections for Smurf, recommending only one major UK podcast to keep his story exclusive. The show he recommended was the Winners Talking podcast show, hosted by none other than Pound Sterling and Doug. But when Smurf sat down on the RTM podcast, things took a wild turn. Bang M Smurf dropped a bomb on Spray and his co-hosts. Made You Think told me not to come here. He said I should do Winners Talking instead. After that piece of groundbreaking news dropped on RTM, AP decided to respond, but was this damage control or the truth? He wasn't about to let this slide. AP clapped back with a detailed, articulate response. I've never hated on any podcast. I was only giving Smurf business advice. AP explained that he wasn't gatekeeping. He was trying to protect Smurf's narrative. AP said he set up a huge national interview for Smurf and reached out to another major platform, all out of love, expecting nothing in return from Smurf. But in his eyes, Smurf flipped the script, went on RTM and made him look like a snake. AP saw this as character assassination at its finest. Spray saw AP's response on Instagram and hit back with just 2 words in the comments. Mind games. Now enter the Winners Talking podcast, adding even more fuel to the fire. The Winners Talking pod, hosted by Pound Sterling and Doug, was the other podcast in question. The tension between RTM and the Winners Talking show is very real. However, we'll break that down in another video, later on. But for now, Pound Sterling gave his side of the story. He said, AP originally set up Smurf's interview with us first, but it fell through due to scheduling. Later, when the opportunity came up again, AP advised Smurf to go with us because we'd structure the interview better. Sterling made it clear. There was no malice from anyone towards RTM. It was just strategic business advice. Just when it seemed the dust was starting to settle, Spray exploded onto his show, taking center stage and going off on everyone. On the latest RTM episode, Spray unleashed a rant, demanding to know why AP was telling people to avoid his show. You could tell he was genuinely upset, especially because he had been showing AP love before this whole thing exploded. So what's really going on here? Was this just business advice on AP's behalf? Was AP trying to control the podcast scene? Did Smurf twist the narrative, or did AP really throw shade at RTM? One thing's for sure, misunderstanding or not, the streets are talking and the lines between business and beef have never been blurrier. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.